Dear Restoration Church, as we look back on this last 5 years, we see a common pattern. That God gave us a vision for the chapter ahead, and then one step at a time, and despite whatever setbacks, obstacles, or resistance we faced, time after time, that God-given vision came to pass in God's way and in God's time.
And each chapter shaped and transformed our community to reflect Jesus' love in a truer way. And so as we celebrate our 5th anniversary together, our hearts swell with gratitude for God's goodness and also for each of you. We thought it would be fun to look back at all the years and just get a glimpse of all that God has done here at Restoration.
2020, the launch. Restoration Church launched on January 26, 2020 with so much hope and a deep desire to be a faith community that truly empowered all people to love and follow Jesus. It was a year like no other. We had 6 weeks of gathering together until the COVID-19 pandemic shut the world down. God was so faithful, and so was our core community of people who kept trusting God through each new iteration, from online church to parking lot gatherings, outdoor restoration kids Sundays, Zoom life groups, doorstep delivered boxes for special events at home. This first year forged our commitment to our core values and deepened our dependence on God in profound ways. 2021, a year of pivots. This second year as a church further strengthened our resolve and helped us clarify our calling to truly be a church for the rest of us. As hope was on the rise for normalcy, we reopened in phases during the summer of 2021, hosting our first ever Wild Kids Camp, resuming indoor church and Restoration Kids gathering in the building, launched Restoration students, and began to meet in person again for life groups. We even had our first ever Kids Christmas musical. We focused on how to help people heal from the collective trauma of the pandemic and started realizing the uniqueness of our restorative community and the opportunity we had to help change what church and religion means for people. 2022, bold faith in action. This year was a time of rebuilding our servant leader core and stabilizing organizationally. We've never been ones to play it safe, and we saw time and time again that our bold faith risks were bearing fruit in the lives of people who were hungry for an authentic connection with God in a community that truly felt safe for all people. Favorite memories of 2022 include Good Friday and Easter, Upgrade Sunday, Imaginarium Kids Camp, and continued growth for Restoration students. 2023, all people means all people. We hosted our first Fine Fest Easter event for the neighborhood, which was a huge success. Later in the spring, our leadership team hosted listening circles in homes to hear from our core members of the RC community what their dreams were for our church. Summer flew by with Kingdom Landia Kids Camp, Day of Service with Hope for San Diego, and Church at the Beach. The fall was full as well, with Restoration students' epic fall kickoff Decades Dance, our first ever marriage retreat, Spooky Sunday, and Advent and Christmas. In 2024, we saw God's faithfulness once again as a wave of Holy Spirit momentum swept through our restorative community. In January, we launched Builders, a movement of our primary stakeholders who meet once a season for prayer, planning, leadership development, and connection. In the spring, we experienced an influx of new people, just in time for our summer series, Party Starter, which set the tone of joy, growth, and holy expectancy. We also experienced our record number of 19 baptisms to date in 2024. We can't wait to see what God will do as we pursue more gatherings, more for the next generation, more leadership development, more hope and healing, and more bold faith.
And the story is just getting started. Only God holds the future of our story. But I love that God's invitation to all of us is to be part of co-authoring it together. We each have an important part to play, and if the past chapters are any indication of the future, it's true that God gives us glimpses or visions of the future and then empowers us through the Spirit to work it out. So trusting God's power at work in us and through us to see it all come to pass.
Yeah, so when we look ahead, we see you, Restoration Church, and many more who we yet to meet. We see this restorative community continuing to be a voice of hope to those who may have given up on church and to those who have yet to hear about the love of Jesus. We see a devoted, resilient group of committed followers building this together, deeply dependent on Jesus each step of the way. I mean, it has been a wild ride these last 5 years, and I'm just so excited for what we get to see ahead together.
Yeah.
So we love you, Restoration Church. Happy 5th anniversary.